A bill in the House of Representatives is raising concerns among internet rights groups like the Electronic Frontier Foundation. The purpose of the bill is to fight sex trafficking online, but broad language in the bill may sweep up legitimate voices along the way and impede on freedom of speech. In particular, the bill undercuts provisions which protects websites from liability for their users of free speech. The EFF goes on to say victims may even be censored. To explain, we're joined tonight by legal and media analyst Lionel. Lionel, nice to have you with us tonight, always.
Thank you.
What's the ramifications of this if this bill goes through? What's unfolding here?
It's a disaster. Right now, Ed, there is a provision called Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which holds harmless those individuals who own websites and service providers where they are not to be held accountable for comments that people make on the website. Now, the idea sounds great. Sometimes people will try to traffic in human beings on various websites, and the only thing that makes us free to enjoy, to maybe compete with Google, is to be immune from this. These two statutes, or these two bills, SESTA in particular, is going to eliminate that.
So this is well intended when it comes to enforcement, but the ramifications of it could actually change the scope of information that's being allowed and used.
Not only that, a lot of advocates, Ed, are suggesting that when you remove this protection, it will force traffickers to go deep. And when they leave an electronic footprint or a digital footprint, they're easier to find. But imagine this. What if a woman were just to talk about or just to explain her own experiences with sex trafficking? According to these new filters, which will invariably have to be employed, her speech will be quashed.
How big an issue is sex trafficking online in this country?
It's huge, but in the scheme of things, human trafficking, just for slavery, labor, it's even bigger. Not that quantifying it in any way reduces the horror. But, Ed, this is, again, the government trying to limit speech again by using something which everybody agrees. Do you want to be one of the members of Congress who says, you're not against sex trafficking?
Well, that's the thing. They're going to go home to a commercial that's going to say something totally opposite of what they are, but because of the way they voted and the way the detail in a bill like this, I mean, it's in many respects a political trap, isn't it?
Precisely. Now, there are other ways to do this, but right now, the only way that you or I could ever compete against a Google or a Facebook is if we enjoy this immunity. You know how sometimes, Ed, you'll see retweets do not mean an endorsement. If you have the Ed Schultz website and somebody puts a comment 15 below or deep and says something awful or claims actually a copyright infringement, according to this, you could be held accountable. You'd have to have a team of lawyers. You'd say, I don't even want to try this. So people will walk away, and it kills freedom of speech.
So
absolutely.
The conservatives, on one hand, would be against this. The liberals, on the other, would be pretty much for it because they don't want to go against law enforcement. I mean, the libertarians, where would they come down on it?
Well, libertarians, I think, would be whatever they are, but the liberals of your, Ed, these are the people who said free speech matters. What this is a draconian statute that's hidden under the camouflage of protecting victims. A very laudable cause, but the wrong way to implement it.
Lionel, great to have you on always. Thanks, Lionel. Appreciate it tonight.
Thank you, sir.